Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the Mood Booster podcast.
Episode 46.
Episode 46 indeed.
Wow.
We are reflecting on imposter syndrome today.
We are indeed.
Yes.
Slightly different one. We've got a new
100%.
format and we're super excited for you to hear and see it. We go into more details in the episode, so we won't sort of reiterate that here. But yeah, all things imposter syndrome in this episode,
Yes,
right?
Exactly. We are reflecting on our own experiences, why we think that we feel imposter syndrome. We do go into some tools that we think that we've used to actually combat imposter syndrome, really just take power in it as well. It's a lovely conversation. We go into how it's just normal and how we can, just go forward with this thing that we call imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I really like the activity we did in it as well.
Towards the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of forced that on us, didn't I?
That was great. Yeah, you did. Forceful.
Actually, you had to do two activities.
Oh my
The
god.
first one you absolutely detested.
You chump. No, that was funny to be fair.
You were just ripping a reflection, and I was like, "Wait, hold that thought."
You say I'm beautiful. It's a whole thing.
All
So
right, Christina Aguilera.
there you go.
You're too
I'm
young for that
beautiful.
reference.
No, I know the song. Regardless,
It's James Blunt or James Morrison.
it's James Blunt. It's a lovely episode. All imposter syndrome. We hope you love it.
Yeah, please. Honestly, you'll have a great time.
Yeah.
And see you on the next one.
See you guys.
Bye.
Hello, everyone.
Hola.
Welcome back to the Mood Booster podcast.
Welcome in.
Welcome, you're here finally. Episode 46.
I just took out the microphone as we started there.
Did you bash them?
I bashed the mic, yeah.
You bashed the listener.
Welcome, guys. 46.
Welcome. It's lovely to have you here back at the
is.
Mood Booster podcast.
It's phenomenal.
Feels like it's been a while.
I know. Behind the curtain, it has been a while because last week's episode, great episode, was actually filmed before 2026 even started.
It was a little throwback to last year
So yeah, we actually haven't been in these chairs for a moment now, but
for a hot second.
God, missed it.
Yeah,
Definitely missed it.
missed it.
What are we talking about today, Charlie?
Today we're reflecting on imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
However, before we go into that episode and the theme,
Ooh.
I think we should address the elephant in the room, shouldn't we, Marcus?
Where is it?
Eugene III.
Eugene the Third. Oh, what a throwback. Oh, I love Eugene the Third.
Eugene III.
If you don't know, get to know. On our YouTube, you can watch our workshop on finding joy in your diet.
This is not the elephant in the room.
No, but I'm just giving context to who Eugene is.
Yep.
He's the elephant that you're not allowed to think of in the ironic process theory. Anyway,
Yappa.
yappa. You know me. We have a new format, and
We
we're
do.
very excited to talk to you about it and to do it ourselves because, well, I think for us it's just going to be, really exciting and a really nice, clean way of sort of separating out the podcast and the different intentions we have with it. So, do you want me to crack on, or do
We
you
can
want to
both
take it
crack
away?
on. Well, Monday's episodes.
Please.
Today, the reason we really wanted to split up this episode into sort of two different formats, two different sections, was to make sure each episode was far more intentional with what we were doing. Right, so today's episode and Monday's episode will be always going forward far more of a reflective, open, bit more bashful and joyful chat about the actual episode theme itself.
Yeah, reflection and connection more so.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, those are the pillars which we're really focusing on for this episode at least. It'll be about a 40-minute segment where we're talking about different themes for different weeks and just reflecting a bit as we do during the actual episodes currently. Right.
Our lived experiences with it. So, for
course.
example, this week we're speaking about imposter syndrome. So it's going to be a lot more reflection, which a lot of you say is what you enjoy and what you like, and it's our own experiences with it, what we've gone through and what we've learnt ourselves. That takes us to episode part 2, which is going out on Fridays, and that's a lot shorter, more concise, a lot more about what we've learnt from that, what the theory says and what the evidence says, the tangible tools and tips that you can take away. So more of a summary, soundbite, 20 minutes, wham bam, done.
Wham bam
This
shamalam.
is what you can get from it, and it just gives you a lot more sort of intentional advice, so that keeps that distinction there. And it's a lot more grounding there, a lot more advice based and structured as well.
Wham Bam Fridays. That's not going to be the name, I don't think.
Wham Bam Fridays.
Wham Bam Fridays.
I think there's something there. Put a pin in that one.
I'm going to put a pin in it right there.
A pin in it.
The goal with the Fridays, as you mentioned, is to really have a whistle-stop overview of what we reflected on a bit more openly on Monday. Whistle-stop.
Whistle.
And the Fridays deliver the tools and tips and the evidence-backed tools and tips a lot a lot quicker.
Indeed.
So if someone's wanted to find out more of how to deal with imposter syndrome, for instance, straight to Friday's episode, straight to Wham Bam Friday.
Wham Bam Friday.
There you are.
Yeah. I think for us, we just felt like, well, obviously we're loving everything we're doing, but we were losing a bit of our like organic conversation, which is what was one of the like starting
bits,
drivers for all of this, in an attempt to make sure we weren't missing out the important theory and evidence as well. And also that then became a bit sort of murky in terms of our reflection, theory and evidence, and where that sort of line is drawn, and also giving advice and tools and tips. So this just allows us to be very intentional with what we're doing, and allows us to sort of really relax and enjoy both parts, because we both of us really enjoy the reflections. Like 100%. We say, that's one of the driving forces of this whole thing. But both of us also
100%.
really enjoy sharing and disseminating theory and evidence. So both parts have their own sort of importance.
Their USPs, their unique selling points.
Yeah, if you want to put it that way.
From a salesperson himself.
From the salesman himself.
There you go.
And they both deserve their own space. And I think for us, in terms of you as listeners, hopefully you'll get a lot more from that and enjoy that, because it's a lot more sort of, like we say, intentional, and therefore gives you clarity. But for us, I think it's going to allow us sort of, in a weird way, more sort of flexibility and permission to just do what we want, as opposed to sort of like making sure we're covering all things in a section.
100%. And I think inadvertently we will actually cover a lot of things by splitting up the two different episodes into different meanings and different themes. So think of it more as a weekly theme instead of a daily episode theme itself.
Which this week is
Imposter Syndrome.
Imposter Syndrome.
What is Imposter Syndrome?
What is Imposter Syndrome?
What is it?
What is it to you, Charlie?
Well, I just asked the question. You asking me?
I'm asking you.
The questioner gets questioned.
The questioner gets questioned.
La
preguntar. Tengo la pregunta.
Una pregunta.
I have a question.
Una pregunta.
Or the question. Oh yeah. Una pregunta.
Una pregunta. What is imposter syndrome to me? It's to be. What is it to me? Imposter syndrome to me is that feeling when you feel underqualified to talk about something, or to be in a room with someone, or be somewhere, because you haven't necessarily earned the right to be there. That's the feeling, at least. Whether you have or not is actually different. But to me, imposter syndrome feels like, God, I don't belong.
Golly.
I'm out of my depth here, or, someone's going to catch me out for being here because
huge. Yeah.
I shouldn't be here. I've not earned the right to be here, etc., etc. That's what imposter syndrome feels like, and it's often quite subtle, and it manifests in different ways for myself, at least when I have experienced it. But the actual feeling of imposter syndrome is the sort of underlying feeling of like, I don't know if I've earned the right to be here yet. Yeah, that's for me.
You said being caught out.
Yeah.
Is that something you personally experience as well, when you've experienced imposter syndrome?
Well, being caught out, I suppose the feeling of being caught out is more a reflection of my own actual state, usually. I don't know. Was your question...
Are you talking from personal experience, that when you mentioned being caught out or feeling like you're going to be caught out, or is that like definitely from what other people have...
Well, I've always been someone who's actually not bad at handling that sort of talk, I'd say. Like, I mean, I'm going to go straight in with it. A really good example for me when I recently felt imposter syndrome, if I may, was when we had the live workshop. I was speaking to you about it. As we've mentioned a couple of times now, a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, we had the live workshop. And it was with James Brash about the nutrition, joyful fueling for your New Year's fitness goals. He's obviously super intelligent about what he's talking about, what he knows. He's got several degrees in it. You yourself have 3 degrees, which is insane, like the master's, the PhD, and your undergraduate. And the first slide up on the talk was a welcome slide, and it had all of our accreditations, mine being 1, an undergraduate degree, BSc. And
don't forget your A-levels.
My EPQ.
Your A-levels and your EPQ.
Don't forget my GCSEs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't forget them. Easy on the A-levels.
Easy on the A-levels. I wouldn't include my mocks in there.
Arguably the hardest qualification I've ever obtained. in many ways.
It would show for me because I almost failed them.
Oh, really?
I was bad.
Oh, I did already know that, to be fair.
Yeah, you're acting surprised.
You didn't do too well in school, did you?
I did not.
No.
Uh-oh.
Yikes.
Uh-oh.
Anyway.
Start a podcast.
Please continue, sorry.
Before I was rudely interrupted.
Those that can't do podcast.
Love it.
God of it.
Yeah, so we had all our accreditations up on the board, and I remember seeing, obviously, yours and James's, and a lot of the themes that you guys were speaking about.
I've got a really big list of accreditations.
What the hell?
I've got a really big list of accreditations.
Weird thing to say, buddy.
What?
Regardless, I remember seeing that up on the board and thinking to myself, alongside when we were actually planning the talk as well, seeing you two talk about your different elements and your different expertises, and none of it was really my expertise to talk about. For the listener, Marcus is actually laughing at me right now. He's laughing at me when I'm trying to be vulnerable on the podcast again.
Sorry.
You're encouraging everything.
It's because you said expertises.
Expertise. Expertise. Expertise? What is the plural of expertise?
Expertise.
Is it just like sheep?
Yeah, you've got expertise. They have expertise.
Did I actually say expertises?
Yeah.
Did I actually?
Yeah.
I was talking
So
about
I'm not helping with
expertises.
I'm not
You're really not
with
helping with the reflection. Well, to be fair, you do actually help with it. You help combat it. Because I'm like, if this guy can do it, anyone can.
Exactly.
No, I did get a little bit of a feeling up on before, not on the stage, but before when I saw the accreditations, when we were doing the planning, I was like, to be honest, part of the thoughts going through my mind were, you aren't qualified to be in the same stage as these people. They've spent years researching this stuff, and you're just up here chatting as if you're like one of them. A lot of these different things were flying about in my mind beforehand, especially during the planning stage when we were going over like what parts we will bring into it.
Hey.
No, I'm not finished. Before you come in with your
Carry on.
trying to saviour this whole nonsense.
That's me.
And something that I very much realised when I had begun to think about it was, just because that is your expertise, the research, doesn't mean that there aren't other parts which are just as valuable, which don't come from a degree or the academia. Now, because it was a talk centered around science and evidence-backed stuff, that was difficult to try and understand. But after, to be honest, reflecting a bit on what I wanted to bring to the talk, what as a listener I would like to hear from the talk as well, I was able to navigate a way that I think I would find what I was going to do useful, which in the end actually allowed me to lean into the fact that, hey, I don't have a degree or a master's degree or a PhD. Hey, I'm not a well-researched academic, for instance, here.
None of those things.
No, but I am able to, I am able to bring a lot of personality and glue and bring it back to reality, when often in those sorts of conversations, I feel like it's quite easy to distance yourself from the reality of what we're speaking about. Basically, to summarize, very easy, I have felt it, and the feelings of being caught out up on the stage when all the accreditations were up on the board there, mine next to yours as well. Very easy. I mean, I literally was feeling like I was like, hey, people are going to see this and realise, what are you speaking about? What's your expertise? Like, those feelings were going on. But then, under a moment of reflection and realisation, hey, I've created this talk as well. This is something that I've done myself.
Yep.
Very, very quickly realised, you're here for a reason.
Hey, buddy, listen up.
I don't
listen
give me,
up.
No, I don't.
Don't fight it.
Don't give me.
It.
Please don't. I'm not
you
wanting.
Are brave.
Oh my god.
You are.
Please stop.
You are strong.
So this is like a L'Oreal advert or something.
You are.
Stop
clever.
It. Jesus.
You are worthy.
Right. This is making me not want to open up ever again.
You are here on this planet.
Stop.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Listen up.
Is any other listener
hey,
here
buddy,
just absolutely...
Listen, don't fight it. Don't fight it. You are strong.
Oh my God.
Say it back. I am strong.
I am not partaking in this.
Say it back.
Nope.
Say it back.
Nope.
I am strong.
Nope.
Say, I am strong.
You better stop.
I am brave.
This is... Oh my...
Come on. Come on. Let's hear it.
No, Marcus, stop. This is
up with
ridiculous.
You? What's up with you?
This is a silly exercise.
Come on.
I'm not doing this.
Just entertain me for a moment.
Okay. This is purely for you, by the way. I'm getting nothing from this.
I am strong.
I'm strong.
I am brave.
I'm brave.
I am fearless.
I'm what?
Fearless.
I'm fearless.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am beautiful.
Jesus, I am beautiful. That I do know already. That I do know.
And although I want to hear the whole line, and although I might say some words wrong,
and although I might say some words wrong,
and I've got little feet,
this is absolutely insane. This is absolutely insane. I'm absolutely baffled.
Come on.
We've just prefaced this is going to be like an open reflection, and you're here.
It is
literally mocking my reflection.
It is.
Is any listener right now just baffled by this?
Come on, finish.
You want me to say that part?
Yeah.
What use could that possibly serve?
Just get on with it.
Say the sentence again.
Although I have little feet.
Are you going to try and clip this up or something?
Come on. We've not got time.
Although I have little feet.
I am.
The king? The king?
I was born to be.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yes, king.
I was born to be.
There, see, you wanted to do it.
I'm absolutely
there we go.
Baffled that you've just brought that on.
Well, I'm here to support you, and that's what we're going to do.
I've got size 9 feet as well. They're pretty...
Size 10, buddy.
So... Bloody hell.
Hey. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thanks for mocking it.
I'm not mocking it.
You daft nuisance.
I'm not mocking it. Lean into it. Everything you said there is very real and valid.
Guys, in the comments, can we please get Dr. Marcus should have his doctorate taken away?
Oh, yeah, why not?
Can we get that in the comments, please?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, thank you for sharing. I feel like imposter syndrome is something that we, personally, if you're asking,
almost there.
Continuing on from what you were saying,
yeah.
That was your experience in that moment, and completely can see how you're using external evidence to, or internally, without even realizing, external evidence is shaping your view of yourself, and therefore your ability, your worthiness, your credibility, and your right to be in that position that you were in. And I know we josh and joke about it in this very moment, joshing and joking about it, but like as your friend, that's something that I hate the idea of you feeling. And just, it's okay. What are you going to say?
Oh, thanks for... There you go. I do want to preface, although you're going to probably... I'm not trying to take away my vulnerability and reflection. That does still stand, and I still very much believe in it. However, when I think I mentioned it to you after the talk as well, it was sort of met with words of reassurance, which I was also quite proud of as well. Because in the moment I was able to, as I said to you after the talk, I was like, whilst I felt these things, I was able to sort of say, hey, this is what you can bring. This is exactly what... It's not the evidence. It's not the research-backed, journey through academia, and that's okay as well.
All right. Thanks for showing that you're strong and that you're okay with it. But at the same time, it's okay that those thoughts are there.
Of course.
And even if you do self-remedy, like that's not a nice thing to feel. So, and that's okay that that's a feeling that you have. And it's, what I was saying is that as your friend, it's not nice to, even if you have self-remedied or whatever, that to know that that's something that goes through your mind or any of like anyone that I care about's heads in their own respective contexts. I'm interested to do what we did before when we spoke about imposter syndrome at some stage of this conversation, and actually have a little exercise on speaking to the other person how we've done before.
Yeah, I like that. I've just done it for me. Let's do it for you. For me?
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I just said I'm an
that
absolute
was
king.
My words for you. But
well, I can do
what we'll do maybe at some stage, maybe towards the end, is what the exercise is, because people say speak to yourself like you'd speak to your friend, and that's a way of combating imposter syndrome for sure, because imposter syndrome is an internal doubt and self-doubt and a question of one's beliefs and credibility and worthiness and all those things. But externally, we are able to, when it's someone else, observe, see, and validate someone else's credibility and worthiness and all of those things. Yeah. And it's so much harder to do when it's for ourselves. And there's the saying of speak to yourself like you speak to your friend runs true and is valid, because it allows us to actually talk to ourselves and have a kinder, more compassionate dialogue, or internal dialogue. So what we've done before, what we'll try and do at some stage is, genuinely sit and look at each other and speak to each other as if we were the other person, and tell each other everything we like about ourselves in terms of our achievements and things.
Well, what's your experience with imposter syndrome?
Before doing that, I would say I definitely share all of the above. I'm someone who feels it in every walk of life and has done. I am someone like objectively, now, hold the jokes, but objectively...
Funny that.
has achieved a lot in my life. Yeah.
I'm not going to joke because I'm a good person.
Okay. I objectively have achieved a lot in my life. But before 30, just about, have completed a PhD, have become head of marketing in a job, I'm a lecturing, have created a community, a run club, and built a business. Many of those sorts of things, and they're all objective sort of truths that are valid and reality. However, internally, I'm continually just in this state of self-doubt and sort of thinking, literally the word is thinking I'm an imposter. Throughout my whole PhD, I remember the application for scholarships went in, and I just thought, oh, this is ridiculous, but I've got nothing to lose because it's that ridiculous. Yep. I then got an interview, and when I got the interview, I was like, oh, this is weird. They must have a bad round of applications or something. Like the quality must be low, so that's why I've sort of best of a bad bunch. Yep. Got the offer for the scholarship for the PhD and was like, okay, this is really odd now. And then throughout the whole PhD was just continually thinking, okay, this is never actually going to come to fruition. I'm never going to complete this. And then when I submitted it, I was like, continually thinking I'm going to be found out. My examiners are going to like find out that this is all just like kind of fraudulent and this is all just rubbish and, not sort of what a PhD should actually be or to the quality of. And that's just one example. I have that in my work as well and my different jobs. And only until recently that has been very much sort of the case. I think in 2024 into 2025, I had a real shift in my mentality. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like, and I always say this about every experience whenever I'm talking on this podcast, like I'm never like at the end destination. This is always a continued piece of work internally, but I'd say my average headspace is way better than what it used to be.
It's fine if it's not, by the way.
Thank you.
It's fine. You don't need to self-remedy the whole time.
Thank you.
I just want to preface that.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate the support.
Yeah, you don't need to self-remedy the whole time.
I appreciate that support.
You don't need to self-remedy.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Do you have anything else you want to say?
You just don't need to self-remedy.
Any support or...
No, you're doing well.
Oh, thank you.
Please continue.
Thank you.
I've got a good question for you afterwards, but I'll wrap up whenever you're done.
Yeah. And mine's just was a continued experience of thinking all of those things, and therefore led to, which I think we don't talk about enough, is actually like, okay, well, what does imposter syndrome look like? Not just how it feels and how does that manifest? It led to things of, never speaking up at meetings or just like allowing other people to take the reign and just kind of being like, oh, I probably don't know enough in this situation. And always then afterwards looking back and being like, I knew so much, or that was said by someone else and I'd been thinking that the whole time, but I just didn't have the confidence to say it. Or, just allowing my views and opinions to not necessarily be heard or overlooked and all those things. And not really like putting myself out there in a professional way, in a professional context, which sounds counterintuitive when I've just said things like you're head of marketing or you've got a PhD, but that's the whole thing of it, right? It's like it's a perfectionism and a constant like I should be doing better.
I was going to ask you, where do you think it comes from? Where does it source from, do you think?
Well, speaking personally, like an inadequacy, like a perfectionism and a need to like achieve and do well, that then is coupled by also internal feelings of inadequacy. So those two coupled together just always feel like I'm the fraud in the room and I'm the one who's like going to be found out because I have such high standards, not only for myself, but for, I guess, then everyone around me, if that's how I'm sort of like measuring myself. Yeah. But then if those are the standards, but then I'm not seeing myself to meet those standards, then I feel like I'm a fraud in that sense, or I'm the imposter in the room because I'm not meeting the standards that I see everyone else to be at, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I also think there's more personal attributes associated with things of like success and intelligence and all those things. Like intelligence is something that I think it, yeah. In the context of intelligence, it's a good example of how one can sort of speak negatively of themselves or see themselves negatively. Like we know from many episodes now that we have like negative attribution bias in our brain. Our amygdala is seeing
negative attribution bias.
Like our amygdala is seeing and picking up on evidence to support the negative things, to make sure that we are, from an adaptive evolutionary stance, we react and do something about those negative things, because we need to survive, arguably. Whereas our brains don't necessarily, we do that too much now, to the point where we focus on all of our negatives and less of our positives. And so much so that for me, my intelligence is one of those things. Like I mark my intelligence by stupidly being at family games nights and never winning quiz nights, or feeling like I don't know, I can't hold myself in a conversation about politics or geopolitics, where some of my very good friends are continually talking about those things. So I see those things and focus on those things, as opposed to the fact that I'm extremely emotionally intelligent and very socially aware and very sort of astute to very small bits of data and information that are constantly going on around me, and that I'm academically, critically thinking, like academically intelligent in terms of critical thinking skills and those sorts of things. And that's taken like time to reinforce, because my knee jerk is to think, or just to go to the assumption or the sort of the default in my brain of, oh yeah, I feel like I'm dumb when I'm talking about politics, or I can't hold myself in stupidly family quizzes or whatever, so I'm just an idiot. Whereas objectively, that's not necessarily the case. But it's one example of then when you get in positions where people are maybe intelligent, or you're in academia, obviously people are intelligent, arguably. All of those internal sort of narratives then start triggering, and they're like, oh yeah, but you've always thought you're dumb and that you can't speak politics, or you can't hold yourself in these sorts of conversations, and therefore what are you doing here? You don't have a right to be here.
It seems the theme that I'm picking up, and I think it's a very accurate theme, especially what you're saying, is that it is like almost a projection of the own insecurities, isn't it?
100%.
Is what you feel is what you're maybe, or what one is most insecure about, or what one feels like they are lacking or were lacking when they were younger. That is manifested in the way of imposter syndrome. So when that's brought to the surface, when you're in an environment that would trigger said insecurity, that is when the imposter syndrome would be felt. Like I remember back when I was in school, when I was younger, I was always at the bottom of my sets, always at the bottom of my classes. Something that I never did well. I'd always alleviate it through humour, through banter. I'd managed to get through, but I was always at the bottom of the sets, usually at school. And I think, part of why maybe I felt a bit of imposter syndrome before when we were planning that talk is it brought it a bit back to that. I was out of my depth in academic research. The part I absolutely loved from the talk was the personality, was the speaking with people, because that's what I know I'm good at. But the side of the presenting academic research throughout my schooling journey, I was never good at. And I think I felt a little bit of that, and that reflects on what you're saying as well. It brings your insecurities back to the surface, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think also that reflection makes me also think that so much of imposter syndrome is about comparison as well.
Interesting.
And comparing yourself to others. Like you're there being like, okay, well, objectively you're comparing because you're like, I don't have a PhD, for example.
Of course.
So therefore you're comparing not, or to James or whatever. And in a workplace setting, you're like, oh, that person's really, I don't know, an arbitrary example, but that person's always finessing their Excel spreadsheets and their reports are looking great and I can just never keep up with that. Or, I don't know, this person is way faster than me at this athletics club and I just shouldn't be here. All of those things are comparison-led, whereas actually, like, we are all individuals who have so many differences and so many 100%. Individual strengths. If we all had the same strengths, we wouldn't all have the different job roles that we have, and we all wouldn't be a team, because teams are made up of individuals with their own strengths that then bring those strengths to one master sort of objective. So if we were all the academic, none of us would have the... What's this saying? Academics aren't funny, but like none of us would have the humour or the personable skills or whatever. If we were all the I don't know, the charismatic one, we wouldn't all.
There would be no evidence to back
For example.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's so important to like remind oneself of that, because we can't be everything. So when I'm sort of feeling that, I'm like, it's annoying because I'm not this or that, and I'm like, but why does that? You can't be everything. You shouldn't want to be everything, because you're then spreading yourself thin.
100%. That's a great point.
And I feel like that's something that also leads to imposter syndrome, and is
comparison.
If we can be aware of it, then we can maybe do something about it.
I think once you're aware, becoming aware of it in the first place is quite important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because once you're aware of the feeling there, you can then begin to understand why you're feeling it and dismantle individual parts. But that's a great point about the comparison. I completely see that.
Yeah. I think my major thing is, like I was alluding to, around 2024, 25.
Yeah.
I can never fully put my finger on what it was, but I think if I had to try to explain like my shift in my own sort of headspace of moving away from being sort of immobilized by imposter syndrome and taking more ownership and power over it, or taking its power away, I would say I focused a lot more on like objective reality, and external reality and external data, to put it sort of scientifically, in a sense of, I finished my PhD and I took a minute to sort of sit with that, but after a while I kind of was like, no, that is a thing that's just happened and you are worthy. And I learned, actually, because there were so many times when in my masters, for example, this is another way I was doing it, I was externalizing all of my success. I'd be like, God, they're really, easy markers here at my masters, because I kept getting distinctions, and I was like, God, this is ridiculous, like they must just be so lenient. And then there was a stage when this is just one example, but I then read back years later my essays, and I was like, Jesus Christ, these are phenomenal. I was like, these are so good. But in the moment, I wasn't allowing myself to even see or internalize that. Yeah. And I come to realize after several times of going through that similar experience in different ways, that actually, like, there's something that I just do internally, and I feel like a lot of us do internally, where we externalize success, and internalize failures, and don't allow ourselves to just realize our worth.
Sit in it.
So therefore, what I was trying to do is be like, okay, I've literally got an example here of where I externalized that success and said they're easy markers, and I've just come back years later and have seen actual evidence of this is a friggin' good essay and a friggin' good piece of writing. That you can't dispute that.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm sitting now being like, okay, I literally have a PhD. I am seeing, I'm teaching. I'm continually getting feedback from students saying, you're my favorite teacher. These lectures are incredible, whatever. Another huge formative experience was going with the Monday Mood Booster to Lake Garda and being like seeing I can never put words to it, but like
tangible impact,
the human connection, but like, again, something I can't put words to. It's just the spirit of people together as a collective, and being like, allowing myself, and importantly, support from friends and people like you messaging and being, or saying like, this is something that you've done and you need to allow yourself to realize that. Being like, that is something that is these people, yes, they're their own individuals and they make their own friendships, and it's them being kind that allow that, but like, that's something that I have facilitated, and it's the spirit and the heart that I have facilitated. And therefore that must be that I must have worthiness and credibility there, because you can't argue with that objective evidence. So I feel like a lot of that sort of trying to internalize the objective data has been an active decision and process that I've made. I don't know if that's something that you're...
That's a great point. I like, because it obviously dismantles the comparison which is in our heads, because of that negative attribution bias, which you were saying. When we're focusing on the negative, we're focusing on what we don't have, what the other person has. When we bring it back to the data, what I have and what I can bring to the table, it instantly dismantles a lot of that comparison, thus the imposter syndrome as well. I completely see that. Using the example of the talk, that's what I was doing during and beforehand. When I'm not saying that I was reflecting, part of what I was trying to do was like, but what do you bring into this talk? If you were the listener, what would you want to hear? Just bring it back to reality, and the data, I think, is important. Your lived wins and your lived experiences and your successes, your own ones as well. What you're bringing to the table. It's so important, because it helps you to just bring it back to what's important about what you bring. I think.
Yeah, it's funny, like, hearing you say those things, because. And it just reminds me of the whole speak to yourself like your friend, because like it's the first thing I hear as a friend when you or someone says something like that. It's like, God, I wish you could just see how I or other people see you.
Yeah.
And I know that the people obviously would probably say the same to me. And it just is another example of like, we're just doing that to ourselves.
100%.
Because everyone else, hopefully, sees us in such a better way than we see ourselves. And I think that...
Yeah.
Carry on.
No, I was about to say the crippling thing about the thing about imposter syndrome, which we were saying as well on our reflections after the talk. I remember we were cycling back. I think it was through Kensington or somewhere. We were just on line bikes. And we were saying what a beautiful thing though it is to have the imposter syndrome, because that is signaling to yourself, although it can manifest in quite a negative way, what it's really saying is you're challenging yourself and you're growing. You are no longer a big fish in a small pond where you're surrounded by, people who are, I don't want to say not better than you, but you're overqualified for your pond. You're doing great things, but you're not really challenging yourself. The best thing in this life is to see it as a journey, is to grow and use the experiences to put yourself in different areas. And sometimes you will feel underqualified, and sometimes in this life you will feel like you aren't supposed to be in that room. But that's a blessing, because that means, I think, you're on the right path.
Yeah.
It means, hey, I'm challenging myself. Sure, I don't feel comfortable whilst doing so. I feel like I'm out my comfort zone. I have all these feelings of imposter syndrome, yada, yada, yada. But it's a great indicator that I'm on a good path to growing and challenging myself, because I'm taking myself outside of what's comfortable and what I know, and putting myself into a bigger pond with bigger fish of people I currently, right now, sure thing, it's not great, but I see them as better, and I'm comparing and everything. But that's an indicator that you're in the right space. Yeah. I think if you can then begin to challenge those internal thoughts, etc., that's where you keep on growing, and then you become that big fish in that pond again, and that's when you jump into the even bigger pond. And that's the journey that we're on, I think. So I think in essence, although it can manifest in quite unhealthy ways, negative self-talk, etc., imposter syndrome is a great indicator of growth.
I think your points just raised a really important point of distinction also for me. And I think to try and not conflate imposter syndrome with just general feelings of inadequacy and low self-worth, because they are two different things. And imposter syndrome, though it's not, like you say, not like the best feeling or best experience, it is usually, I think, from my reflections and what I understand, it's specific to the context of, whether it's performance or work or whatever. It's not just feeling all the time like worthiness, lack of worthiness. That is a different thing, and imposter syndrome is quite specific in that sense. And therefore, your point, I think I completely agree with, is that like it does show that you're growing potentially, or you're challenging yourself, or you're putting yourself in uncomfortable places, and therefore are growing, because it's not just a general coming home and feeling crap about yourself in every part of your life. Like
feeling challenged.
It's specific to those settings of growth and challenge.
It is. So it's I completely agree. I think that's a good thing that you've mentioned, that it is different from just feelings of inadequacy.
Though they're most certainly not mutually exclusive, and one definitely causes the other. I think my imposter syndrome's been its lowest at the same time as me working on my self-worth, and having the best self-esteem that I've ever had, and self-worth that I've ever had. And ultimately, imposter syndrome definitely comes from a lot of lack of those things, and needing to work on those things. And therefore, there's a lot of a wider picture, I think, in general life. I think I've said numerous times, last year was the year of so much growth of confidence and self-worth for me. And it's a surprise to no one, at least not myself, that my like I say, my imposter syndrome was also its lowest throughout all of that, because I had the most self-worth and self-confidence I'd ever had. Not always there, if at all, ever on some days, but
I think it's almost a good thing. Yeah.
I would say, just for the sake of being a bit sentimental, I do also think, we are we're supposed to feel like we're hyper individualistic, like we have to do all this ourselves and find it internally. But I'm like happy to say and proud to say that like a lot of my growth and self-worth has come from like external support and like reinforcement and validation from
100%.
other people. Like our friendship is, and both of us say,
You're welcome.
We've learned a lot, and our self-worth and those things have come from those sorts of things. Now, yeah, you're right. I'm right, or one might be right that those things aren't always promised, and you've got to continue to maintain that internally.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with also leaning on, finding support in, finding growth in other people, support, friends, family, whatever it is.
We're pack animals.
Yeah.
It's there for a reason. 100%.
Talking of,
yes.
do you want to do this activity before we wrap up?
Yes, please. So explain to the listener a bit about what we're going to do.
So people always say, speak to yourself like you speak to your friend. And they kind of say it and they take it in jest, and they just never actually really process that properly. There are people online who give this advice, and it definitely resonates. Like, sit and talk to yourself in the mirror every morning and say 3 things you love about yourself. And it feels like woo-woo and wishy-washy, but like there's so much credence and validity to that, and the importance of that. So what we did once before, when we were doing or discussing this episode as sort of like a trial episode, is we actually made ourselves sit and do the activity of like looking at each other and speaking, imagining the other person was ourselves, and just using that person as kind of a vessel to speak to ourselves and say the things that we love about ourselves, or that that we're proud of, and all of those things. And for me, before, maybe we'll just do it and then we can reflect afterwards.
Enough yapping, my guy. Should start a podcast.
Do you want to go first?
I'll give it a go. I'll get in the zone. This is something that's not typically the most comfortable, but I think I just got to frame it as truly I'm speaking to a best friend. I'm just going to do a bit of breathing here.
Breathing. Deep breath. So
this is me speaking to you, aka myself, reassuring, giving some kind words, showing the love. Yeah. Okay, here we go. You will always have highs and lows. Those things are both promised. It's easy in the highs to feel good and to ride that coaster and feel like you are the person who you're meant to be. It's in the lows where it's easy to abandon yourself. It's so important because of how great you are as a person, and because of how unique you are as a person to anyone else that I've ever met, that you don't abandon yourself. The most important thing is that if you can recognize truly who you are, is to love yourself, because you are 1 in a million. You are a kind, loving, and funny person who brings unique energy into every room that they're in, and that is truly rare, and you should cherish that. So even in the low moments when you feel useless, like you feel like you don't belong, like you feel like you're one of everyone else and that you don't bring anything special, don't listen to those thoughts because they're negative, and just trust your inner self that you're on the right path. You are a fantastic person who is a pure heart, and you will go very, very far, and you are surrounded by a lot of people who love you. End scene.
How'd you feel?
I feel great. I feel great.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Thank you very much. I'm just gonna pat myself on the back there.
Done.
Very nice. That
Nice.
was lovely. Gonna just take 5 seconds to internalize that all.
Please do.
Internalized.
Before I rip a joke.
That was great. Well, yeah, he was already there, so wow. Give 2 white guys a podcast mic and they just start spouting about self-love. It's great.
Profound.
That's unreal from me.
What I will just say is, have fun riding that coaster.
The coaster, yeah.
Where you put your cups.
Coaster is the American word for roller coaster.
Oh, okay.
Dude, hop on the coaster, dude.
Oh, okay.
That's not one of the phrases. Do not worry. It's not one of the phrases.
I have a list in my phone of stupid stuff Charlie said.
It's not one of the phrases.
It's not stupid stuff. It's actually hilarious.
Incredibly hilarious.
Very good stuff that Charlie says that actually brings me joy because it's funny.
Got a habit of saying phrases wrong. Regardless, I digress. That was a lovely little exercise.
I'm actually feeling slightly nervous. I don't know why.
Well, just imagine it's to me or someone else. But it's to yourself. Here we go, guys.
Okay. Hiya.
Right. Hiya there, love.
Hiya, love.
Is that actually how you started?
Hiya, love.
Hiya, love.
What are you saying, cuz? Hi. You are doing all right, aren't you? You're pretty sound. You have a lot to be proud of. You are an incredibly kind, caring, and intelligent person who has, even since last having this conversation, has grown so much in yourself and in your world. And you, though have been through many things, are sort of extremely resilient and pushing through, and always sort of finding joy and happiness and a light in everything that goes on. Not only do you find that for yourself, but importantly, you try and put that on other people and bring that to other people and look after other people, so much so that you should be extremely proud of how you want other people to be happy and to be cared for and to be heard and seen. You've used your intelligence, your emotional intelligence, and your intuition and your innovation to not only help yourself and continually help yourself, but to help other people around you. And that is something that not everyone does, and you should take note of and be extremely proud of. You put that back onto yourself as well, and are continually reshifting energy to not only other people, but also more so than ever looking after yourself and giving yourself time and space to do that. So though you really struggle with your confidence and not always knowing your worth, try to remember, even in small ways every day, how incredible you are and how kind you are, and how much other people, as an external form of validation, see you in a positive regard, and how much you help those people, and they admire that and appreciate that. But importantly, you help yourself, admire and appreciate yourself, because if other people can and do, you should do the same, because that is extremely rare, and you are extremely rare. You're 1 in a million, and you should love yourself, even though you look like a burnt chicken nugget. And scene. Oh, golly.
How'd that feel?
It's not comfortable, but it's
very nice.
It's
well
good.
done.
It's good to do.
That's
and
great.
It's something that it is. Yeah, it's nice to say in here, and
very good.
It's helpful. I find someone to do it with. If not, do it in a mirror, because
do it in a mirror.
It is. Yeah, there's one thing to say, speak to yourself, and just thinking in your head, but actually doing it out loud really solidifies, and language really solidifies beliefs and internal dialogues and schemas and all those things. So
100%.
Please, give it a go.
Very nice exercise. Well, hopefully we're walking away from this with a little less imposter syndrome. Mm-hmm. Very much looking forward to Friday's episode.
It's a lovely reflection.
That was a lovely reflection. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to Friday's episode.
Same here.
Go into the evidence and the tools and tips that you can use. Consolidation.
Actually, this is what the evidence says.
Well, actually,
excuse me, sir.
Wham Bam Fridays.
Before we go, though,
yep.
Talk to me.
Yep.
Charlie.
Yep.
Please.
Yep.
Tell me.
Yep.
Your.
Yep.
Weekly.
Yep.
Mood.
Yep.
Boost.
The audio is broken. My weekly mood boost. My younger brother, Jude, and his girlfriend, Emily.
Hey, Jude.
Stop interrupting. Jude and Emily went to Amsterdam for their first year anniversary.
Oh, that's
Day was
nice.
great.
God,
he messaged saying when he went, they were there for a weekend. He's like, I've never seen so many boobies in mirrors or in windows in
really?
one night. And he went to the red light district. So,
oh golly.
Yep. I've seen that before. But yeah, no, it sounded like a lovely trip. So
it feels like yesterday that you were saying about them, starting their relationship.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was on our first episode, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably.
Big up, Jude.
Big up, Jude.
Well done, boost my mood. What about you, Marcus? What's boosted your
happy
mood?
Happy anniversary, Jude and Emily.
Yeah, happy anniversary, guys.
My mood boost is our good friend Matt.
Matt Holmes.
Matt Holmes.
There you go.
What a guy. I think the mood boost in general was just seeing him, because he's always such a great chap.
He's a great lad.
Great to be around. It was it was also mood boost Ross's birthday, our housemate's birthday, 30th birthday.
That's a mood boost.
But yeah, Matt was in attendance, and he's just like was a real sort of beacon of. He was just on great, like it was a great spirit, great highs. That's really poor English.
Fantastic voice as well.
Yeah, great singer.
Wasn't aware he had that good of a voice.
I learned that he's potentially, I don't know if I'm allowed to share this, but potentially like, looking to move house, and that's really exciting.
Potentially to move house, or potentially to like move house.
Well, I'm just trying. I don't know. I don't want to share his business, but now I've realised I'm literally doing it. So
you've just done it. Yeah.
He's
Huge.
moving house, which is very exciting, and he's
very nice.
Importantly, he's excited about it. So
sharing his business still.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well done, Matt Holmes.
Well done, Matt Holmes. Keep smashing life and being you.
There we go. Well, thank you very much for joining us on this. I'd say whistle stop, but it's been a very nice open reflection
Gracias.
on imposter syndrome. We'll see you for our Wham Bam Friday episode, where we go into the tools and tips and the evidence based. Yeah.
See you
very excited.
On Friday.
See you on Friday, guys.
I'll do some ASMR. Don't have imposter syndrome because it's silly. Imposter syndrome, is it silly or is it helpful for performance? Who knows? We know and